Hello, I'm Rob Phillips. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a 30-minute full body yin yoga sequence that's all about accessing a deep sense of inner peace. In terms of props, I am going to recommend having a blanket, although if you don't have one available, I'm sure you'll be able to follow along. You might just need to adapt a little bit here and there. Once you're ready to go here, we're going to find our way into a comfortable seat to get started. So as you make your way into your seat here, just keeping in mind you can use props to sit on. You want to make sure you're comfortable. And if you're not comfortable and seated for a few minutes, you could even find your way on your back to get going. But once you're there, set up in such a way that you have a bit of lift all the way up through the crown of the head, a bit of softening, a bit of relaxation happening through the shoulders. And then with all of that set up here, let's close our eyes. So as you first close your eyes here, simply just noticing how you're feeling here in this moment. Feeling a certain sense of your body, sense of your breath, and all of that. Something I always say when I talk about this idea of inner peace is that the peace that we're able to access through this sort of work isn't something that we create. It's not something new that we call into being. This deeply peaceful inner place is actually always there beneath the surface. And practice is all about uncovering various layers. It's all about letting go so that we can access that a little bit more fully. So to that end here, noticing if there's any tightness, any gripping or tension within your body. If there is, can you begin to soften that? Can you begin to let it go? Noticing within the mind, is there any resistance, any restlessness? Maybe wandering thoughts here and there? Seeing what it might feel like to let that go too. So again and again throughout this class today, we're going to keep letting go, both in the body as well as within our minds. And I encourage you to notice what it feels like in those moments that you are letting go. Can you start to feel that sense of space, start to feel that sense of calm? Again, this deep inner peace isn't something that we create, it's something that we access as we let go, as we really settle into things. Let's take just a few more moments here, a few more slow breaths. Feel a certain sense of calm, certain sense of softness within your body. Take a final gentle inhale breath through your nose. Open up your mouth and exhale. Let it out as you lower down your chin. And slowly open your eyes. So we're going to stay seated for our first pose of the main sequence, which will be butterfly pose. So as you're ready to come in for that, you can take your feet forwards, out, and in front of you. Don't need to be super close. You can use a little bit of space. And if you need extra props under the knees, of course, feel free to grab those. Once you've got yourself set up here, we'll inhale for a bit of lift. We'll exhale to ease our way down any amount towards the floor. Now, just remembering for this yin yoga style of practice, the most important tenet is to really listen to your body at all times. So there's no urgency, there's no need to pull yourself close to the floor, there's no drive to get as deep as possible into the pose. Start very gentle and give the body some space to gradually ease into things. As you ease in, you can fine-tune the alignment. There's no kind of technically correct way to do any of these poses. It's all about listening to your own body. And if at any point you feel strong sensation in the body, you feel anything sharp or stinging, anything that gives you even the slightest hint that you might be doing harm, please immediately back out from the pose. Maybe even leaving the pose early altogether may be necessary at times. But if the level of sensation is okay, it's noticeable but not intense, definitely not too much, then you have permission to relax. Really allow the body to settle. Really allow for gravity to take you in here. By softening the tissues of the body, by really letting go on the physical level, the mind will start to get a bit more calm. It will get a little bit easier to settle into this moment. And as we explored in that opening meditation, and as we'll continue to explore throughout the sequence today, each time that we let go, we can get a little taste or a little glimpse of that sense of inner peace. Even if it's just for a millisecond or two. Start where you're at and let go of what you can. And let's do just that here for a few more slow breaths. Take just a few more moments to drop in here. Let's take another complete breath right here where you are. Slowly as you inhale, rolling up and out of that fold. As you come up here, I invite you just to roll the shoulders, release around the neck. Extend the legs out in front of you, let them move a little bit too. And from here, we're going to shift and we're going to make our way onto our bellies. Now on your belly, just taking a minute or so here to let the body integrate, let the spine settle after that forward fold. Maybe take a few slightly deeper breaths. Really feel a sense almost like you're melting into the earth here. Really let the body get nice and calm, get nice and passive with things. And if you'd like, it can be nice to find even a little bit more reset by taking a nice long inhale breath through your nose and a nice long exhale breath out your mouth. Here, you can gently now press yourself up into a Sphinx pose, lifting onto the forearms. Now, the intention here is to create a mild compression in your lower back, just a little bit of sensation, just a little bit of effect there. In order to affect this, you can do the elbows closer or wider, farther. There's lots of ways to fine-tune. You can certainly adapt the shoulders how you'd like, but my suggestion for today would be to really relax across the shoulder girdle. You can relax the back of the neck here. It's kind of hanging out, very mellow version of this pose, so to speak. And as you relax here, tune in and notice what you're feeling. You can feel the ground beneath you. Feel the gradual release within the pose. As you let go, begin to get that taste, however briefly, of that deep inner peace. Again, we're not creating the peace out of thin air. Our natural nature is to be at ease, is to be calm. every time you let go, every time you settle into this moment, you'll be able to tap deeper and deeper into that. And of course, it's not a perfect process. There will be moments of restlessness. There will be moments of tension, boredom even. None of that needs to be a problem. Just notice that's happening. That's the nature of the mind. But keep asking, what could you let go of? What are you holding on to that you don't need in either the body or the mind? Each time that you let go, and notice that little glimpse of calm that you may get from doing so. Let's take a final complete breath right here. Slowly, as you exhale, you'll relax. Lower your way all the way down to the floor. On the floor, take a few nice deep breaths. Feel those waves of energy move through the spine, move through the shoulders. And feel that bit of release after being in the pose for the last few minutes. Often we get that nice wave of calm, that wave of ease. We might think of that as kind of a larger expression of the work we're doing here. As we let go of the mild compression from being in the pose, what remains is that deeper sense of calm, that deeper sense of ease in this moment. Let's feel that here for just a few more slow breaths, just a few more moments. Take a deep inhale breath through your nose and a long exhale breath out your mouth. From there, you can now gently press yourself upright, or actually first press yourself back through a child's pose. Allow the spine to round, allow yourself to release a little bit there. And slowly find your way upright into a comfortable seated position. Here is a case where having a blanket may be helpful. We're actually going to turn ourselves sideways on our mat, and we're going to set up for dragonfly, our wide-legged straddle pose. So again, turning sideways as I'm doing here on my mat can be a good idea. Give yourself a bit of space to work with, give yourself a bit of opening. Keeping in mind, everyone's going to have a different width to the body. Some people's feet will fall in or out. Mine tend to fall in. That's just the shape of the hip joints I have. And like I said, lifting up the hips a little higher will make this pose a bit more accessible, I think, for everyone. So what we're going to do is approach this pose in 3 parts. We're going to fold to the left. We'll take a little pause. We'll fold to the right and take a little pause. And then we'll go down the middle and we'll hold there as our last variation. So to start, as I just said here, we're going to take an easy turn and face a bit towards your left leg. Having set that up here, take a gentle inhale for some lift. And exhale, really gradually here, take your time. Feel just that very mild edge, just a tiny bit of sensation on the back of that left leg. Keep in mind, we were just on our belly doing that back bend, so there may be a little bit of sensitivity in the lower back. So please don't force yourself to go deeper. Maybe even lifting a little bit can help the pose to feel quite a bit more spacious, quite a bit more vibrant. And as you tune in here, coming back to this idea of letting go. What might you let go of within your body? What might you let go of within your mind? Notice what it feels like to let go, and notice what remains as you do so. Maybe just noticing if, only for a few seconds here and there, the thoughts get quiet. You find those moments where you're just here, you're just resting in your experience. That connection with your experience is this deep inner peace that I keep talking about. The peace is what remains as we allow ourselves to let go completely. Please take a final complete breath right here. Slowly draw yourself up into the middle and just pause for a few seconds. Could feel nice to release the shoulders a little bit. Maybe shake the legs out a little bit, really anything just to kind of reset. But take a brief pause here and just feel where the body's at. Feel where your state of mind is at and all of that. From here, let's now do our right side. So you're going to take a little turn to the right. Again, you don't need to go too far with this, but just generally aiming in that direction. Having made that adjustment, take a gentle inhale for some length and slow exhale, easing into your fold. Again, as you ease into your fold, the intention is to feel a bit of release, especially on the back of that right leg. But you may feel the effects of the pose elsewhere. Again, the body is a dynamic thing, so just notice what you are feeling. Can you find just that very light edge? Again, that's not a race to get to the floor. There's no prize for going deeper than you already are. Just find where you're at with this and be there with it. Really relax. Really let go. As you let go, notice the gaps between your thoughts. Notice those moments where you really just are connected. That is the deep inner peace that we're talking about today. Take a final complete breath right here. Slowly roll up and come into the middle. And again, I invite you just to move a little bit, release the shoulders, release the legs, shake it out a bit, and take a few moments here before we do our final fold. So, as promised here, the third and final fold will be straight down the middle. So if you need to adjust a little bit, might be helpful. Often I take my legs like a little bit wider here because I feel like I've opened up from the first two sides, but that's of course totally up to you. You can even consider setting up a prop in front of you if you feel like you need a little bit of reinforcement for that. But whenever you're ready for this, let's now take our inhale breath to lift and exhale to ease right down the middle here into your fold. A little trick that I like to do is what I'm doing with my hands here. Just turning the palms towards the ceiling can help the shoulders to relax, can help to release some of the urge to pull yourself deeper. That is by no means required, but if you find that helpful, you can certainly do that. And as I keep saying, there's no need to go deeper. Even if you're sitting very tall here, but you feel the pose, then you're doing the work that we need. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. Otherwise, always asking in each moment, what are you holding on to that you could let go of? Even the slightest thing, just let it go. So we let go of the surface turbulence as we choose to slow down, take our time like we're doing here. We start to see that beneath all of that is a natural well of deep inner peace. It's always there with us. It's just maybe easier to connect with in settings like this. And please just take one more complete breath right here where you are. Slowly roll yourself up and away from that fold. Again, I invite you to roll the shoulders, release the legs a little bit here. Now, we were in seated for a little while, so you can take your hands and scoop the legs in and move them one more time. From here, let's now make our way all the way onto our backs. So kind of first action here, actually, as we lie down, I'm going to invite you to hug the knees into the chest, make like a cannonball shape. You can think of this as kind of being like an inverted version of your child's pose. So allowing for the spine to round, allowing for yourself to release. Settle here for just a few breaths. Now you're welcome to stay just like this. If you want to build onto it just a little bit, you can take your knees a little bit wider, coming towards stirrup pose. That could mean holding the knees, could mean holding the feet. Whatever feels good for your body, set yourself up. With the eyes closed, allow yourself to relax. And let yourself settle right here for the next minute or so. Can you feel that sense of calm? Can you really feel that sense of ease in both the body and the mind here? Settle here for just a few more slow breaths. Take a gentle inhale breath right here where you are. Use a slow exhale breath. Release the legs. Lower down and expand all the way onto the floor for a few moments. Resting basically in Shavasana. Not quite our final Shavasana, but just a few moments to settle. And before we get into that final rest, let's gently draw both knees back into the chest. Make that cannonball shape. As you exhale, roll the legs over to your left-hand side and open your right shoulder onto the floor for an easy twist. Just a few breaths here. But really do settle. Really do land right here. With your next slow inhale, wind the knees into the middle. And as you exhale, take them over to your right. And open your left shoulder out onto the floor. Relax it there, the belly, back, all of it for a few moments. Slowly wind the knees into the middle. Take a final moment just to release, just to shift side to side. And from there, extend the legs out onto the floor for our final rest. Settling here into a complete sense of ease, into a complete sense of calm. One last time to make that transition, take a deep inhale breath through the nose. And open up your mouth to exhale and let go completely here. So on your back, just taking a few moments to tune in. Notice whatever effects those last few minutes of stillness have had on both the body and the mind. Gradually getting things moving once again, gently pressing your way up to a comfortable seat, and closing your eyes once you get there. With your eyes closed, just take one last opportunity to notice whatever sense of peace, whatever sense of calm you've cultivated through both body and mind. From here, we'll end officially with a short offering of metta, loving kindness. I'll say just a few phrases. If the meaning of these phrases creates a connection for you, consider repeating the phrase internally to deepen that connection for yourself. So join the hands in front of the heart. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease, in freedom from suffering. And may we dedicate our practice for the benefit of all beings. And we bow. So thank you so very much for joining me for today's practice. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more practices like this, subscribe to my channel because I'll be coming out with new classes each and every week.